Hello everyone, how you guys doing? I want to believe you're staying out of trouble. I welcome you guys back to my channel, and I remain your girl D for Delia, but you can call me Delia for short. Have you ever for any reason felt that life just doesn't feel right anymore? Like you are stuck, or maybe felt drained, or you just don't feel yourself anymore? Have you ever been in that situation? Don't worry, I am here to give you the 5 clear signs for you to know that it's time to let go and move on. Yes, it comes to a man's life when you need to recognize that there is need for a shift in life. There is need for a shift in the right direction. There is absolutely need for a shift in dimension. So today we are going to have this great and amazing topic, and you need to understand that most times staying in a wrong place for so long can delay your destiny, your plan, your growth, and your purpose in life. You need to understand that. You could be somewhere for so long and you wouldn't know that your glory is no longer in that very particular place. So, we are going to have this amazing topic today, and then we would definitely have a better understanding on how to take the right step. So, before we proceed, I just want to speak to all my returning subscribers. I want to let you guys know that I appreciate you so much. And to anyone that is coming to my channel for the first time, please do well to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so that anytime I post an amazing video, you will be able to be among the first to grab and watch and listen and learn from it. So guys, let's take a look at 5 clear signs for you to recognize that there is need for a shift in life. Yes, I for one, I understand and I believe that you could be in a wrong place for so long and you wouldn't know that your glory is no longer in that very place anymore. You could probably have lived in a location maybe from your childhood to your adult age. Maybe you have dated a couple of people in that very location and you keep staying there. You no longer feel anything new. You no longer have this vibe that you once have living in that location. Everyone in that location or in that very vicinity or in that area probably know who you once dated, right? So it's more like a news that you are no longer feeling the vibe in that very location. If you have felt this way for any reason, there is need for you to shift. There is need for a shift in life, and there is need for a shift in dimension. Secondly, are you in a workplace and for some reason you do not just feel right? There is something about that workplace that throws you off. Or probably you don't just communicate with the people that come around you or you see every day in that very workplace. Or for one reason or the other, they keep putting up a report. People keep reporting you or bringing complaint or giving you queries here and there. There is need for you to shift. There is need for you to try something new. Yes, I am of that opinion. And I tell you, that is what I would do. If I stay somewhere for so long and I'm no longer feeling that vibe, and maybe I want to get married, and for some reason, I don't even see people that say, hey, I am going to move. Yes, I need to try a new place. I need to see new faces. I need to try new things. That very place might be draining you spiritually, or maybe your spirit is already drained in that very place, but you do not know. Something that once felt good or you felt joy, you no longer feel it. This is not about being this is not about you being physically drained, but you might be emotionally and mentally drained, right? So there is need for you to move. Let's move and let go. So the second clear sign for you to know that it's time for you to move or take a shift in life is when you no longer feel your God given glory in that very particular space. We all have this God given glory that most times it shines bright and it shines forth. When you go to places, before you know, you will be recognized. When you put in an application, before you will know, you will be called. When you go to a place, before you will know, everyone will want to say hi and everyone will want to chat and talk with you, right? But when you no longer feel those, brightness, glory, light shining forth. It means your glory has left that very particular space, or it means your glory is no longer in that very particular place, and it's time for you to move. You must have tried a whole lot of things. You must have put in your best in what you are doing, be it business, be it looking for job in a place of work or in a relationship. You must have put in your best in this relationship, but it keeps looking as if you are the only one that is trying to make things happen. You are the only one that is, playing the ball. You are the only one in the post playing and trying to score alone, right? You do not have a goalkeeper, but you are the only one in the field playing and trying to score and trying to also grab the ball at the same time. No, your glory has already left that very relationship. It could be in your business. Maybe you have been in a business for so long in a very particular location, but nothing is working, right? You go out every day like every other person. You put in your business, you put up your business like everyone, every other person, but no one asks you, hey, what do you have there? What are you selling? How much are they? And things like that. Nobody talked to you. Nobody even tried to look your way, or probably some days you just make less sales. It is time for you to know that maybe your glory is no longer in that location. There is need for you to know that. Most times you might be putting in like 95% effort to achieve this greatness. It is time for you to know that life is pushing you for a new dimension. It is time for you to know that life is trying to redirect you towards a new direction. And you need to pay attention and act. Everything is not the devil's work, because we as Christians, we have this mindset and belief that most times when things are not working or moving well for us, there is a devil somewhere manipulating and implementing those acts. Everything is not devil. You need to understand that we have our own God-given glory. We have the instinct that God has put in every one of us that we need to always pay attention to know when it is time for us to act. I know growth can feel uncomfortable, right? But stagnation is the worst of it all. So pay attention to your instincts, know when the glory that God has given you is no longer with you in a very particular place, and know when to move. There is need for shift in life, and there is need for a shift in dimension, and know when to act and act fast. So the number three clear sign for you to know and recognize that there is need for a shift in life and it is time for you to let go and move on. The number three way for you to know that is when you always have this constant anxiety and feeling depressed at all times. At every given time, you feel anxiety, you are depressed, and you feel very, very angry with yourself. For some reason, you always don't just feel happy. You don't feel happy anymore, right? And you cannot even explain reasons why you don't feel happy. But what you know that at any time you're stepping into that environment, there is something that seems off. You don't feel yourself anymore. You don't feel happy anymore. You don't just feel yourself anymore. Maybe when you stepped out, you see yourself laughing, smiling, sharing up with people. But when you find yourself back in this very location or in this very space, something goes off. Something feels different. Something is not just right. You need to pay attention to your instinct. You need to know when it's time for you to move. So when you always feel these thoughts that at any time you want to go back to that very location or to that very person or to that very relationship or to that very job, you feel this anxiety, you felt this stress, you feel something is not just right anymore. Pay attention. Your peace is no longer safe. Your peace is being drained at that very particular place. And it is time for you to move. It is time for you to take action. Remember, peace should be compass and not fear. So guys, the number four clear sign for you to know that it's time to move or for you to recognize that there is need for a shift in life is when you keep giving constant reason why you should still be there. When you keep trying to defend that relationship to why you should still be managing that relationship, why you feel there is need for you to still be in that job, why you want to defend all odds just to remain in that very position. If you see yourself defending something that seems to be like a burden to you, I don't even mean seems. If you see yourself defending something that happens to be a burden to you, but you are defending it with all righteousness and with all justification, trying to make it sound right and feel right to the other person, something is wrong. There is need for a move and a shift in the new direction. You might be in that relationship. For you, you know that that very guy no longer cares about you. You know that he or she is just managing you. You know that for some reason, this relationship is not heading anywhere. There is no direction in this relationship. But you keep telling yourself, well, other relationships are like that. People are enduring, people are managing, there is no man out there, there is no woman out there. I'm just gonna stick to what I have. Hey, you can stick there for so long, but maybe they are using you to buy time, because when they find what they are looking for, they are going to take that shift which you refuse to take. And you would at that time feel dumped or feel left behind. You need to be wise. Let's not forget, I understand that most times the reason why people find it so difficult of letting go a place where their spirit is no longer active, or where their glory have left them, or where they know that for some reason their peace is being drained. The reason why they do not want to leave, or they always have reason to want to convince you that is not what you think, it doesn't look that bad, is because most times they must have invested so much in that very place. Maybe they have invested so much in that relationship. Maybe they have put in so many years in that place of work. Maybe for some reason they do not just want, or they are not the type that want to relocate or move to a new place, right? But I want to make you understand that most times God might be trying to use someone to pass a message to you, or God might be trying to move you to a place where He wants to align and connect you to the right people, but you would be the one delaying the process. You would be the one declining the process. You will be the one rejecting the blessing. So you need to pay attention. Okay? You invested so much, I know, but then His plan for us are beautiful. They are for good and not of evil. He always have better plan for us. Remember that He says, you cannot ask me for bread and I will give you stone. No. God knows you. He knows your heart desire. He knows what you want. He knows that that very particular place is no longer giving you what you want. He knows that what He has for you is not in that very particular place anymore. He wants you to move in the right place where He has prepared things for you, where He has prepared the amazing connection for you, where you would find that Mr. Right or Mrs. Right which He has destined for you. You need to pay attention and you need to act, and act fast. So, guys, the final clear sign, which is the number 5 clear sign for you to recognize that it's time for a shift in life, is when everything in you seems tired. Even when you are resting, you feel this tired, you feel this warmed out, you do not just feel right, right? When everything about you feels tired, when you are no longer energized, when you are no longer rejuvenated, when everything about you seems worn off, right? You might still be a young person, but at every time you kind of feel worn out. When they see you, you might probably look older than your age mate. Like everything about you is going off. When you feel that way, when you feel that you are just managing yourself for every good reason, because you don't just want to agree that there are bad reasons. So you feel you are managing yourself for the good reason, right? But knowing fully well that everything seems not right. So when you feel so worn out, feel tired, feel uncomfortable in everything about you, it is time for you to wrap up wherever you are, and it's time for you to move. I need you to understand that He that created us knows us from our mother's womb, right? God knows who you are. He knows you by your name. Even before you came to this world, He already knows that you're going to be here as a girl or as a boy. He knows. Even at this point in your life, He knows. That is why at any time, I so believe that I always call upon my guardian angels to always go before me, to guide me, stand beside me, to protect me, be behind me, to shield me from every satanic manipulation. That is how it's supposed to be. But we have to always, listen to our instinct. We have to always pay attention to what God or Holy Spirit is about to pass to us. We have to know when God is trying to use someone to help us. We need to know when the Holy Spirit is trying to use a destiny helper to help us in any way, right? We do not have to always want to defend the wrong thing, trying to make them look right. No, you might only be the only one seeing them as a right thing, but every other person knows that they are wrong. So that brings us to the end of this topic today. And until I see you guys some other time, do subscribe and turn on the bell notification. You all remain blessed and stay safe. Bye bye.